My university tried to force me into a leave of absence because testifying at my assault trial would mean missing classes, but I refused to let my attacker derail my graduation, so now the administration is completely derailed instead. Posted by u/nightkite345. My college says if I miss class to testify at my assault trial, they'll drop me from my classes. I was intimately assaulted, while home over a break, not by another university student, and the trial of my attacker starts in 2 weeks. I'm a university student about 5 hours driving distance from my hometown where the assault occurred, and I'll need to travel there to testify at the trial. I'd spoken to my advisor and all my professors, notifying them of the days I'd be out, and everyone was understanding, giving me take-home versions of any tests or work I'd be missing. Unfortunately, one of the days I'll likely need to be out coincides with midterms, so my professor was required to get approval from the academic dean and dean of the college to issue a take-home midterm. His request for the take-home midterm was denied, and when it came to the attention of these deans, they contacted all my professors and informed me if I missed that many classes, it would be approximately 2 of each class, maybe 3 depending on some court scheduling, and 4 of another class, but it meets every day of the week. My professors were comfortable marking these as reported absences, which basically means there was a justification like a doctor's note or other official documentation. I showed the deans that I was in fact being called to testify by the defense, so it wasn't even really like I had a choice. I figured that would be enough documentation. The dean said that personal non-medical conflicts could not be counted as reported absences and would be treated as unreported absences, so, treated as the same thing as if I just slept through class. They suggested I apply for a leave of absence for the semester because otherwise I'd be dropped from my classes at the 3rd absence and be on probation if dropped from 2 or more classes, school policy. This attack took enough from me already. I went to great lengths to be sure I didn't miss a day of school while recovering. I do not want this man to derail my life further by pushing back my graduation date. I spoke to the Title IX office who'd promised me they could help, but it turns out their idea of helping was helping me plan my leave of absence. I do not want to take a leave of absence. All my professors were ready and willing to work with me, and I was, and entirely capable of keeping up with the work. Do I have any legal recourse here against the school? Thank you in advance. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. What would the leave of absence entail that you are against it? Would it force you to retake all your classes? OP. I would have to withdraw from the university for a full semester, leaving me to either spend all summer in school, thus unable to work full-time, or graduate late, and there is no guarantee I'd even get my full tuition back. Commenter 2. Have you been served a subpoena? Does your university consider a court order as a legitimate excuse for missing class? If no and yes, ask the attorney to subpoena you and show that as documentation. OP. I have been subpoenaed and showed the documentation to the deans. Unfortunately, it isn't just missing the midterm, it's missing any classes at all. And I have class 5 days a week and the court doesn't run on weekends, which is why they were pushing for me to take a leave of absence. I'll keep trying to push the subpoena as proof I absolutely need to be there to get justice, and it isn't like it's a fun outing for me like I'm trying to skip class for a law and order type experience. Thanks. Commenter 3. I'd get that in writing from the dean and go over his head. Because there's no possible way the campus legal team would be at all happy to know what he was doing, and I doubt the rest of the university administration would like their campus to be the focus of news reports on colleges forbidding victims of crimes from testifying in court. Make an appointment with whoever is immediately above your dean, maybe the chancellor depending on you, and talk to them. OP, thank you. I hadn't even considered the legal team because in my mind they're there to protect the administration, or the administration. I'll look into that. Thanks. Commenter 4, at most, you'd be out less than a week for a trial. This doesn't make sense. They won't allow you to reschedule to take a midterm the following week? OP, unfortunately the issue is not just midterm, the midterm is what brought my situation to the administration's attention. Their main concern is with the absences. The minimum amount of time I'd need to be home for the trial would see me dropped from at least one's class, likely more, which puts me on academic probation, so I would then have to retake the courses over the summer or delay my graduation date to finish. I'm going to check into a proctored midterm at a college or library near my town to solve that issue and then try to address the absences through other means. Commenter 5, you should be able to get the court to work around your school schedule. Courts are often willing to consider a victim's legitimate life obligations. There may a victim advocate you can speak to at the courthouse to help you navigate it. If not, your lawyer or the prosecutor can enter a request to change the date on your behalf. I hope it all works out for you. OP, thanks. Unfortunately, I have classes 5 days a week and the court doesn't run on the weekends, so no matter when I testify, it'll conflict. But I do have that in my back pocket if it would be easiest to schedule my testimony around my midterms instead of the other way around, so I'm keeping my options open with that one and discussing it with the prosecutor first thing tomorrow. Update, 3 weeks later. Thanks to everyone's terrific advice, I got my university's ombudsman involved, and also reached out to a local survivors group, similar to Rain, who connected me to a wonderful attorney who facilitated between me and the legal services team at my school. Within a day of meeting with the school's general counsel, my attorney and I were invited to meet with the deans who had made the initial decision. One of my professors also apparently saw my legal advice post and put two and two together. My professors were not previously aware of the full extent of what was going on, and he and my other professors submitted a letter on my behalf protesting the administration's decision, copying the board, ombudsman, legal counsel, and high-level members of the administration, which was so incredibly touching. I am still overwhelmed and trying to properly thank them. Between my professor's incredible gesture and my showing up with an attorney raising flags, at the meeting I was given carte blanche to work out the details of my absences between myself and my professors. I'll take them at school, just early, and two were able to give me modified assignments that could be done at home but still exemplify the same knowledge and skill sets. The ombudsman and the legal counsel assured me they are looking into the policy that caused this ordeal in the first place, the ombudsman in making sure the policy is being correctly and reasonably enforced, for example, not used to coerce students into violating a subpoena, and the legal counsel is advising the administration on new guidelines for the policy so no one else has to experience this going forward. Thank you everyone here who took time to give me such helpful advice. I appreciate all of you.